Off.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the time. Jordan, just on the defensive side of things, what did you see from what Washington threw you guys? 16 shots, seven on target. Seems like they just kind of threw the house at you in a way. And I know they've got a lot of different ways to do that offensively.
hmm I mean, I think that obviously they're a good team and they're really good attacking. And I think that we did what we could, and I think that we had kind of a rough game. And I think we just need to learn from this game and move on. But I think defensively it wasn't the best we played, but I think that given how many shots they had and only giving up two, I think we did what we could. Thanks, Charles. And then we'll go over to Grant.
So Jordan, expanding on that a little bit, Sofia Cantore is a Champions League caliber player. She plays a physical style. I felt like you were able to still win a lot of your battles with her. What did you see from her specifically today, and what were you expecting coming in?
I mean, I knew she was a good player, and I've watched some of her games that she's played overseas. But I think that I was able to like read how she was playing, and I think we communicated really well as a back line, which really helped me out. And I think that we were able to like keep her from doing anything really. Thanks, Grant. And then we'll go over to
Thank you.
Quasi. Quasi,
Oh,
Emerald City.
hey guys. So there's an interesting stat on the broadcast. You guys haven't won a game when giving up the first goal. They haven't lost one when giving up the first goal. What do you think kind of goes into that? And how did that kind of play out, playing from behind in this one?
Sorry, can you repeat that again? Can you repeat that stat? I had
Oh,
to.
oh, sorry. So I think the Spirit haven't lost a game when they've scored the first goal, and you guys haven't won one when you guys have given up the first goal. What kind of goes into that, and how hard was it to kind of play from behind for most of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime that you get scored on first, obviously, it's tough. And I think it's something that as a collective, you just kind of have to grind through and figure out a way to kind of get back into the game. Ultimately, today we weren't able to do that, but I think considering the amount of shots, obviously we were very defensive this game, and I think like that's one thing about us is that regardless of, the score line, like we're always going to give it our all defensively, especially. And so, that's just something that we need to build on, and I think something to just kind of learn on.
All right, and then we'll go over to Jada.
Thanks. Thanks for taking the time. Laura had talked about the sickness that had gone through the team this past week. How much did that maybe play a part of maybe some of the energy that you guys had out there today?
Um, I don't think it really affected us. And obviously we had some of our players that weren't able to travel with us, but I think that we were out there like playing for them. And I think that, man, I don't really feel like it affected our game. I just think we just played a rough game, and I think we need to move on from it and learn from it, and just on to the next game. Thanks, Jada. And then we'll go back to Quasi.
Hey guys, so obviously a huge game for Trinity Rodman. You said yeah, they had plenty of shots, but you didn't give up too many goals. Obviously, she kind of plays the game at a high level. What did you see from her, and how difficult is it to play against a player that can shoot on the first time like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously she's she's amazing, and she is like 101, honestly. And yeah, I mean, I think it's difficult, right? Like you have to respect her game and what she can do. And I think, sometimes you don't get it right. And unfortunately, tonight we weren't able to kind of, shut her down. She did get two goals. And, that just kind of speaks to kind of who she is and what she can do on the pitch. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Quasi. And then we'll go back to Grant.
So I'll direct this one to you, Sam. I often look at Washington Spirit play, and it looks like they flew over from Barcelona. Like they play like a Spanish side, and they press opponents into oblivion. I felt like you guys did deal with that probably better in the first half than the second half. But please correct me if I'm wrong. How did you feel like you were able to cope with that press?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough, right? Like, teams are going to press us, and I think it's about just kind of honestly living in that uncomfortable kind of space and kind of just trying to do the best you can with it. I think, yeah, I mean, when you're getting pressed like that, right? Like you just kind of have to figure it out on the fly. And I think obviously, like we're a pretty young team, so I think, there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot to learn, and just a lot to improve on.
Thank you.
All right, and then Charles.
Yeah, to kind of build off the learning and improving on part that you mentioned, Sam, starting with the San Diego match, three of your guys' current four are against the top three teams in the league in San Diego, Washington, Kansas City. Obviously, there's parity throughout the course of this league. We've seen that. No team's like a pushover, but just how big is this stretch here to, you're playing against the very best right now in the final stretch of the season. How big can that be just to test yourself, and truly kind of, test yourself ahead of, potential postseason push.
Yeah, I mean, I think, one thing about this group is that we are very willing and very eager to learn and kind of just like push through the next week and kind of focus on the next game. Obviously every team poses different challenges. So I think, ultimately it's about moving on to the next. We have Louisville next, which, like you said, no team is really a pushover. So for us, it's just really about focusing on one game at a time and kind of, giving our best shot each game. Because ultimately we do want to be, part of the, 8 teams that make it to the the tournament. Sorry, I'm going blank. I went blank.
Thanks, Charles. And then we do have a media member here in person, Roe. You.
Hi. I feel like I hear a lot from covering the Spirit that they love to talk about having like almost a positionless style, and it seemed like they were throwing a lot of different formations out at you guys. Off the ball, defending. Like, how did you feel that you guys adjusted, and what do you think you did to adjust to just the variety of formations they were throwing at you?
I mean, I thought we adjusted pretty well. They did do a lot of different like styles of formations, and I think that we were able to like pick up on it during the game. I think just like I said, like our communication is good enough to like communicate to each player like what they need to be doing differently and where they've changed and what we need to do. So I think that our communication and our coaches help with that as well on the sidelines.
And Jordan, like especially in the first half for you, you were kind of exploring a little bit and heading upwards.
Yes.
Like, how much of that is even just part of the game plan versus just seeing a hole and trying to make the most out of it?
I think it's kind of a mixture of both. I know we kind of planned for like one of their formations to be to where I had that space to go do that, and I think that we picked up on it quickly during the game. But I also think they picked up on like that I was going to do that. So I think that, I mean, as the game went on, we just had to adjust to that style of play, and I think we picked up on it really well.
Just one more, Sam. I know the last time that you were here was with the national team. Just wondering, kind of the like compare and contrast the difference of playing out there on the pitch at Audi in a national team game versus in a league game here for the Reign.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, anytime you come to Audi, it's a big presence. It's a big stadium and, they get butts and seats. So I think, when you play with the national team, it's obviously very similar, even more even more people present. Obviously when you play for your national team, right, it's, higher level, higher opportunity, higher stakes. So, it was definitely amazing to kind of be here and be able to play in front of so many fans. And yeah, it was a super cool experience.
Still got that Jordan jersey, right?
Yeah, I do. Yes.